Hey there, this is JG playing Raid Shadow Legends, and tonight I wanted to share with you a really good idea that I had that just didn't quite manage to work. So this is a variant on my Iron Twins team, and I have been looking to improve on this Iron Twins team. So the problem I have, it's decently fast, it's acceptably fast, it runs in about 5 minutes, but the success rate has not been at 100%, and I'm not crazy about it. And so the main challenge here is you really need Kurzad here to place the decreased speed on the Iron Twins really reliably. It's tuned so that he places it at just the right time, so right after you tend to get that retaliatory strike where he purges it, you have a chance to place it again. But the challenge is that you can never get to a 100% chance to place. So there's always an opportunity for the boss to resist. So no matter how high you make your accuracy, there's always about a 3% chance to resist. And in most contexts, you think of 3% as basically 0%. Like you're succeeding almost all the time. But when a 3% chance of failure turns into a 3% chance of a full party kill, then suddenly you try to optimize that a little bit more. And in this case, that 3% chance kind of snowballs. There are 5 different places across this fight where you need Kurzad to place that debuff. It's the very first turn at the start of the fight, and after each of the 4 missile strikes, you have to place it immediately. If any of those gets resisted, then the run fails, pretty much. And so, although it's a 3% chance in each of those instances, that adds up to about a 15% chance across the entire run, and that's pretty consistent with the failure rates that I've seen. It's pretty common that I fail at least 1 run per day. Occasionally I'll have a good day where I get 6 in a row. I'll also have days where I miss 2 or 3 out of the 6 and have to rerun them. And so I'm not really pleased about the energy that I'm flushing down the drain by doing that. So I've been thinking about ways that I can possibly improve that, and I thought I had a really good plan here. So you can see this team that we're looking at right here, I swapped out my Frozen Banshee DPS for Skull Crusher instead. So what Skull Crusher can do is place a full party counterattack. And actually with Demitha using her buff extend in here as well, the 2-turn turns into a 3-turn, and you basically have 100% uptime on a full party counterattack. And so what you'll see in here is when the retaliatory strike happens, when you get that missile strike, the whole party counterattacks, so that gives Kurzad an extra chance to place this decreased speed. So he both has the chance from his counterattack, and then subsequently he has a chance from taking his actual turn. And so the idea there is that that's going to turn this 3% chance of failure into, so instead of a 1 in 30 chance of failing, it's about a 1 in 900 chance of failing across 2 hits. So that is much improved and would really decrease the fail rate on this run a lot. So I was pretty pleased with myself. Tried running this and found that it was still failing a fair amount. So it took me a little while of filming it and analyzing just what happened to see what goes wrong. But I'll fast forward it here to you and show you just what went wrong. We'll watch it in slow motion so you can catch every detail. Okay, so there's a retaliatory strike. You get the debuff purge. The whole party comes in here and makes a counterattack. And what you see is Kurzad's counterattack gets resisted. And then you see Demitha counterattack. And Demitha's counterattack places a shield. And so with the decreased speed not placed on Iron Twins, you see the boost turn meter pop up there. And that means he gets a 10 or 20% boost to his turn meter. So although Kurzad does come in for a second hit right at the time he's supposed to, Iron Twins' turn meter is not where it's supposed to be at all. The comp is still out of sync, and so a single fail on that counterattack from Kurzad is still able to ruin the whole run. So unfortunately, Skull Crusher is not a magic fix for this team. You need someone that can place counterattack on Kurzad, and then Demitha to not counterattack. So I went looking to see if there are any champions that can place a counterattack buff on another champion. And there's one. It's Jizo, who you get for free, I think, sometime in your first month or so. Unfortunately, I tried out Jizo as well, and he seems to have a hard preference for putting his counterattack on Demitha. Googling it, it sounds like people are saying that he targets support champions first. I even put Kurzad in the lead slot to see if That would make him a more popular target, but Jizo does not want to place his counterattack on Kurzad. If anyone knows how to control Jizo's targeting, if there's a trick I don't know, then possibly there's a way to make that work. But unfortunately, I could not find a way to make counterattack buffs fix this team. Another option, if you're trying a team like this, that would work a little bit is any counterattacks that you can get onto Kurzad are going to increase your success rate. So if you can get him to high enough accuracy with retaliation gear or with revenge accessories, that's going to up your success rate. I think you can only get to about a 50% counterattack rate with those. I don't believe there are any masteries that are going to trigger in the situations that you need them to on this particular build. But if you can get him counterattacking, that increases the likelihood that you're not going to have a resisted hit, or if you have one resisted hit, you have a chance of placing a second hit that's not resisted. Finally, there's one other bright idea that I had that I wanted to research, and here's Goffred Brassclad. You might have picked him up in the Guaranteed Champion event a little while back. And he has this nice passive. If someone is about to get killed by a fatal hit, he can block incoming damage on them by placing block damage. And so I was wondering if this might be a way to fix my previous Maneater team, where Goffred, even though this is only a 4-turn cooldown, since it's a combination of Maneater, Hellcat, Demitha, only every 4 turns would there be a chance for the Ignore Unkillable from the Iron Twins to knock someone down, and that Goffred might be able to block that. Unfortunately, the fatal flaw in this idea is that this effect does trigger if someone is unkillable. So if you're unkillable and you get hit down to that last hit point, Goffred notices that. He does try to intervene, even though they're not actually able to die from that hit. So he doesn't save it until the moment you actually need it. When the boss is ignoring unkillable, he triggers it too soon. And so you can't control it with fine enough precision to fix an unkillable team with Goffred instead of running a full block damage team. So, unfortunately, I'm still stuck with a only semi-reliable Iron Twins comp here. The only one that does seem to work, but I don't have the equipment to do, is placing retaliation gear on Kurzad. Would be pretty valuable. But otherwise, you're stuck with a semi-reliable build if this is the way that you're running Iron Twins right now. Sorry I couldn't fix it any better for you. That's it for tonight. GG out.